Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving headfirst into a brand new 2025 report. It's all about the global sulfur hexafluoride market.
Right, SF6.
Yeah, SF6. Now, that might sound a bit niche, maybe, but honestly, it touches on some incredibly important parts of, well, modern life.
Absolutely. Think electrical insulation.
Exactly, keeping the lights on, and those circuit breakers that are just vital for a stable power grid.
And this report, well, it lays out a really interesting growth path. We're looking at a global market around, what, USD 456.89 million in 2025?
That's the number, but the projection,
Yeah,
that's the eye-opener.
it is. It's expected to climb up to USD 917.08 million by 2033.
Wow, nearly doubling in what, 8 years? That's significant growth. So what's fueling this? What are the main engines here?
Well, first off, you've got the basics, the traditional uses. The report really emphasizes continued, actually growing demand for electrical insulation and circuit breakers.
Makes sense. As global energy needs rise and we upgrade grids.
Precisely. You need more of these reliable components. That demand naturally grows.
Okay, the foundational stuff. But didn't the report also point to growth in maybe less obvious sectors?
It did, yeah. There's a noticeable push from healthcare, specifically medical imaging tech.
Huh, really?
Yeah, SF6 has some unique properties that are really valuable there. And then, maybe a bit surprisingly, renewable energy growth helps too. Wind turbines, for instance.
Wind turbines, how...
They use SF6 in their high voltage systems. It's part of making them work efficiently and safely on the grid.
Interesting. So established uses growing, plus healthcare, plus renewables. Anything else on the horizon? New applications?
Yeah, the report does mention ongoing R&D. They're finding new potential uses. One interesting one is tracer gas detection.
Okay.
So specific characteristics are advantageous there. You've got this mix. Core applications growing and new ones potentially emerging.
Okay, it sounds like a pretty clear upward trend then. But weren't there some potential headwinds, some challenges mentioned?
Oh, definitely. That's a really important angle. While the outlook's positive, it's not without complications. A major one is, well, environmental regulations getting stricter.
Ah, right, SF6. It's a greenhouse gas, isn't it? A potent one.
Extremely potent. And concerns about its global warming potential are leading to limitations, even bans in some places for certain uses.
Right, that environmental impact is a huge factor. Are there other things that could slow this growth down?
Well, the report also flags the high production costs and the fact that, well, good alternatives aren't always easy to find or as effective.
Especially for the demanding uses.
Exactly. Particularly in high voltage applications, replacing it entirely is technically quite challenging. So you have this tension, right? Great performance versus the environmental downside.
Yeah, tricky balancing act. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. The global picture. Where's the demand concentrated right now in 2025?
Right now, North America has the biggest slice, over 40%, which the report puts at around USD 123.36 million.
40%. Okay, who's next?
Europe follows pretty closely. They're holding over 30%, valued at about USD 109.65 million.
So North America and Europe are the big players currently. What about the rest? Asia.
Asia Pacific, or APAC, yeah, that's roughly 23% in 2025. Around USD 173.62 million. It's already a substantial market.
Okay, nearly a quarter. And smaller regions.
South America has a smaller share, just over 5%, maybe USD 17.36 million. And then the Middle East and Africa are smaller still, around 2% and 1% respectively.
So USD 18.28 million for the Middle East, 14.62 for Africa. Gives you a sense of the current distribution.
Exactly. Quite spread out, but definitely dominated by North America and Europe for now.
For now. But you mentioned projections earlier. These regions aren't all growing at the same speed, are they? This is where the future picture gets interesting.
This is where it gets really interesting. While North America and Europe are big now, the projected growth rate, the CAGR, it's much faster elsewhere.
Well, where specifically?
APAC. The report forecasts a compound annual growth rate there of 10.4% through to 2033.
10.4%. That's quite a clip.
It really is. Suggests a big shift in market share is coming. South America is also projected strong, 10.1% CAGR.
Okay.
And the Middle East at 9.8%, Africa at 9.1%. Still very substantial growth rates.
And how does that compare to the current leaders, North America and Europe?
They're projected lower. Still growing, but it's 7.8% for North America and 8.0% for Europe.
So the current leaders grow steadily, but APAC, South America, Middle East, Africa, they're really picking up the pace, especially APAC. What's driving that boom in Asia?
The report points squarely at rapid industrialization and urbanization. Think China, India.
Yeah.
Huge economies developing quickly.
Right, building out infrastructure.
Exactly. That means a massive surge in demand for electricity infrastructure. And as we said, SF6 is critical for the safety and efficiency of those high-power systems.
Makes total sense. Economic development driving demand. Okay, let's dig into the specifics of the SF6 itself. The report mentioned different grades, right? Electronic grade being a big growth area.
Yes, absolutely. Electronic-grade SF6 is flagged as the fastest-growing segment overall.
Why is that?
It's essential for making semiconductors. And all the electronic devices that are just everywhere now, its insulating properties are crucial for manufacturing things like circuit boards, microchips, high-precision stuff.
So the phone in my pocket, the computer we're using, their creation relies partly on this specific grade of SF6.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh.
And within the grades, there's another fast grower, ultra-high purity UHP grade.
UHP, why that one?
It's indispensable for the really high-precision applications. Again, semiconductors, advanced electronics.
Yeah.
You need that superior purity for reliability and cutting-edge tech.
Fascinating. Okay, so that's the type of SF6. What about the uses, the application areas? Where's the biggest demand currently?
Right now, the power and energy sector, that's the largest chunk of the market.
Still the core use.
Absolutely essential there. It's used as an insulating gas and, importantly, an arc-quenching gas in critical high-voltage gear.
Yeah.
Circuit breakers, switchgear, transformers,
Uh-huh.
the backbone of the grid.
Arc quenching, so stopping electrical sparks.
Basically, yeah. Preventing dangerous electrical discharges in high-voltage situations. Crucial for safely transmitting and distributing electricity, especially as we add more renewables, which can be intermittent.
Got it. So power grids rely heavily on it. But you also mentioned electronics applications growing fast.
Correct.
Yeah.
Using SF6 in semiconductor manufacturing, integrated circuits, even for cooling some electronic equipment that's growing rapidly, driven by its great dielectric properties.
Dielectric, meaning insulating.
Yeah, its ability to prevent electrical breakdown. As we demand more complex, powerful electronics, the need for SF6 and making them just keeps rising.
It really shows how interconnected things are. Power grids, electronics. Okay, so just to kind of pull this together, we're seeing a global SF6 market poised for significant growth,
Definitely.
fueled by its core role in power infrastructure, which needs constant upgrades and expansion, plus its growing importance in electronics and even healthcare.
Right. And geographically, while North America and Europe lead now, we're seeing a rebalancing with really strong growth coming from APAC and South America.
And within the market itself, electronic grade and UHP grade are the ones to watch.
Exactly.
But we absolutely have to remember the environmental concerns. That potent greenhouse gas issue isn't going away.
No, it's not. And actually, the report gives a hint about how the industry is starting to respond to that.
Oh, like what?
It mentions a cross-licensing agreement between big players, Hitachi ABB Power Grids, and GE Renewable Power.
Okay. For what?
For a different type of gas, a fluoronitrile-based gas. It's being explored as a potential substitute for SF6, specifically in high-voltage power lines.
Ah, so alternatives are being actively developed and shared.
It looks like it. It's a concrete example of the industry investing in potentially more sustainable options for the future, which is, crucial.
That's a really significant point. It shows innovation is happening. It'll be fascinating to see how those alternatives actually impact the market down the line.
Indeed. And it really leaves us with a big question to mull over, doesn't it? Well, given how essential SF6 is for critical infrastructure, yet also considering the undeniable environmental challenges, what's going to be the most significant factor shaping its future? Is it going to be technological breakthroughs with these alternatives?
Or maybe stricter regulations forcing change?
Or is it just the relentless continued growth of global energy demand that outweighs everything else?
Innovation, regulation, or demand?
That's definitely something to think about.